Let's work. Yo, it's go time, showtime, never backing down time. One shot, yo, make it count, yo. Crunch time, shine time, make this moment my time. Get a grip, yo. Ready.
All right, welcome to the Off the Bench podcast. We have Amy Mickleson with us. What's up, Amy?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good.
Long time no see.
Short week,
How was
right?
Yeah, it was. How was the trip back home?
It was good.
Yeah.
Good. Once I got to the airport, I was fine.
Yeah. So how long you been selling insurance, Amy?
8 years.
How long?
8 years.
8 years. And
This
six
is my
times
eighth.
you have
This
Huh?
is my 8th year. This is my 8th year.
so 7 full years, and 6 of those 7 you've hit Hall of Fame.
Yeah. My first
Okay.
year I was $3,000 short.
Yeah, that's some BS right there. We could have scraped that together from somewhere.
I didn't know I was that close, honestly. You know, everything's changed in our CRM and everything, so I didn't know the numbers.
Right. So this is kind of like, and you've always been a top producer. Can you go through, and I don't even really need to say much other than like 6 out of 7 years in the Field Hall of Fame, $3,000 short for me, and 7 out of 7 years Hall of Fame. Can you talk to these folks about what you do, how you do it, why you do it, and if they want the same results, what they need to do?
Sure. It really boils down to consistency, being consistent every single week of this business. When you're an independent contractor, you have to kind of plan for whatever vacations, whatever you got to do with your children. I mean, plan and work your schedule a month ahead of time. John Whitmore always told me early on, just map out your month, map out the days you're going to run, map out things that are important for you that you can't miss, and stick to a schedule. Doesn't matter if you go and submit 15, 20,000 in business, you got to wake up and do the same thing the next week. And I think that I know some people in this business sometimes will take a vacation if they've issued 50 grand in 2 weeks, but I mean, just the first week of March, I did 27,000 in business, but I didn't stop there. I mean, I still kept going, did my appointments each week, but I know, Frank, things have changed quite a bit, and I'm trying to learn how to still do the business and also build as well. So shifting and, incorporating telesales as well. Before 2020, we never had telesales. So it was all in-home every single Monday, in the office, every single Thursday in the office, dialing until we get our 15 appointments. And it was just things we did. And as a independent contractor, you're in control of your business, you're in control of your activity, and you're in control of your mindset. And those 3 things are very, very important in this business, and everything is completely mental. So I think it all starts down at the very beginning, getting plugged into everything you can. Like, I was at every event. I mean, I got my spiral notebooks. I mean, I take, even at the event I just came to Maryland, I think I took about 4 pages of notes just from other people. And I'm just always writing notes and taking and going back into drawing everything you can, because this business is all about copycatting. I learned mortgage protection from you, how to do the financial, easy calculator, everything. And you know how many mortgage protection appointments I've sold because of what you've taught me? I mean, it's just all about incorporating what you've learned. And, but I think also, even like Grayson too, like he got into every podcast, like anything you can get your hands onto. But now today, I tell every agent, if you can like follow a system, plug in, and copycat off all the YouTube videos, there's so much there. I mean, you can't. It's honestly fail-proof now. And we had to go through a lot of, getting new lead vendors, especially for you. I mean, things have changed quite over the last 7-8 years.
What's crazy is you're 6-time Hall of Famer. You'll be 7 times this year, and you're still. Most people that do what you have done sit back and think that they're next best thing since sliced bread, and they don't listen. They don't sit in the rooms and training. They sit in the back, or they stand out in the hallway and talk, and because they don't need anything. And I
Right.
think it's why you continue to do it year after year after year after year, is because there's always somebody that's a little bit better than you, that knows something you don't know. And to me, that's what's so likable and respectable about you, is you're just very humble, and you don't think you know everything. We all need help. I mean, hell, I need a lot of help, but it's pretty impressive to watch. I mean, I agree with you. There was so much good information shared at that conference. If you weren't paying attention, you're harming your business. And I think you get that more than most people. And out of everybody, you probably need the least from an outsider looking in. But if you're true with yourself, you're always inside going, I need to get better. I need to get better. So I love that. Can you talk a little bit about your schedule, how you run, how many appointments you run, what you do with your leads? And I mean, because it's pretty cool to watch you watch you pull sheets out of your bag that are 3 weeks old and going, I got to get a hold of this guy. He needs help. You know, that's awesome.
If you can see my stack over there, I have say 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's like 8 compartment cubby hole where like the different areas I would run, and I just have leads in those areas, and they're stacked. So like I don't ever quit leads. I mean, I can pull them out if I haven't gotten in touch with them today, tomorrow, next week. I mean, I think people get tired of me calling them, honestly. I mean, I have some that get very tired of me calling them, but when we get these forms in the mail, I know that we're dealing with people that just honestly, at the end of the day, need help. It's not that deep. They either need mortgage protection, they need life insurance, they need something, they need some advice, and that's our job. I mean, I've learned a whole lot doing what I do, and I still learn every day. But my job is to put families in a better position if something was to happen tomorrow. Um, I think 2 years ago, Frank, when man, I experienced a lot. I mean, losing a spouse, losing a cousin 2 months later, having my assistant have a stroke from COVID pneumonia, who'd been with me for 3 years, been my right hand person. So it was like 3 things all in 1 year. But it's like you can either choose to let those things stop you and like dwell in that moment, or you can choose to be like, okay, I'm all my kids have now. I'm all that these families have, and I have to pick the pieces and move on.
Yeah.
That's kind of where my schedule, it's been, like I said, it's been shifting recently, but my normal schedule that I was always usually running was I would dial Monday for Tuesday, Wednesday. Sometimes I'd actually be dialing on Tuesday for Wednesday if I didn't fill up that whole day, because things happen when you're in the office on Mondays. It gets crazy. But then Thursdays you're back. And I would run like a Friday. Well, I really like Sundays. Sundays are really nice days to run because people a lot of times are doing all their stuff on Saturdays, like ball events, or I mean, I had travel softball with my daughter. So I would just work my schedule around what I could. So running
Right.
about 4 days in the field. But I can tell you, when I started running 30 appointments a week, that's when business shifted. When I was only running 20, that's where I was gaining another 15, 20 grand a month, and going from 30 grand to 50 to 60 to 100 grand a month.
Right.
I've never used a dialer. I do everything myself. I've looked at trying to use those dialers, and I haven't found one that's successful for me. I mean, I haven't used any of the call. All that stuff's kind of different for me. I've used some of the like texting things, but never. I've just done everything by hand.
Yeah.
But I just
Well, I
always,
think it's the way to do it.
huh?
I think that's the way to do it. Nobody's going to dial the leads the way you dial them. I can tell you that. I've heard you.
Yeah, just like Nick was saying yesterday on the other calls, like you can control it more when have your. I mean, I have notes on papers everywhere, but I'm bad about putting notes on papers and kind of losing them sometimes too. But I write all over my leads. I mean, how many times I've called them, text message. I mean, I have little notes in my head. Sometimes I'll put them in pencil if they're mean, but I can erase that.
Yeah, I remember those days. Um, so eh, when you look at these sheets of paper, you're not looking at it somebody that might be out mad at you, or even a money. You're looking at it as a family that needs your help. Correct?
Right, right.
Have you always done that, or does it changed over the years?
Well, I think when I was brand new, I really didn't know. I mean, I had never been in insurance before. I really didn't know apple from oranges at the beginning. I would say I did teach myself a lot, but like as I started experiencing death claims and started realizing that what we do is so important, it kind of just shifted perspective even more so. Where I've always been very persistent, and I think that's a very key to have in this business to be successful. Um, and not being complacent is another thing. Um, I I just I don't know. I kind of have seen and heard stories and sat with families and seen what has happened when they don't have something in place, and even hiring people recently saying they want to get into insurance because there's so many people in this world underinsured. So that's
Right.
why, I mean, it is so important. But I would say I kind of just shifted and evolved that over the past couple of years when I started, getting death claims and stuff more so,
Yeah, no doubt. I mean,
being able to help the
it's
families.
that definitely changes when you deliver your first death benefit. It changes your whole perspective on the business. Um, so now you're dabbling or not, yeah, dabbling in telesales. Because that transformation's coming, whether we want it or not. It's here, and you can't put that cat back in the bag. Even
Hmm.
though folks like I would love to go back to 100% face to face. What does that look like for you? Learning something new, controlling the appointment, because I think that's the biggest issue with most people in telesales is they don't control the appointment because they're on the phone, so they might rush through finding the why and really digging down.
Yeah.
How have you noticed the difference in face to face from telesales?
I mean, the two biggest things is you can't, um, building the credibility is a little harder, obviously, than because you're not right there in person with them. I've even had some people, can I FaceTime you? Like, I offer FaceTime, Zoom, or
Sure.
whatever. But if I'm 4 hours away from you, I'm not going to drive and have coffee with you like in like 5 minutes. Can't do that.
Right.
But I had a guy this morning. I was helping at 6 o'clock, and he's like he doesn't have the best medical concerns going on, and I was like, I'll do what I can to help you, and we did eat those. Eat those wouldn't even accept them. So I was like,
Jeez.
we're gonna have to figure out something. But I mean, we submitted an app, and yeah, I think the two biggest things are, yeah, credibility and getting that social and bank account. It is sometimes harder because you deal with a lot of old school people, but I have been using that, your NPN number is my business social, just like everyone. It's a really cool thing because, and I've always used the haystack card too. So I always send my digital card, tell them to save me as a contact, making sure they have all of my information and understanding I'm a credible agent, and I will text my license to the state either as well. So that's
Right.
what I do to get past that. But I think the biggest thing that I've noticed between in-home and is pulling out. It's hard to pull out those policies that they've had before. Those things, and like
Right.
finding that money and finding those things that they would trust you more if you're in person. That's one big thing I find is different. Or like referrals and stuff, you can get them, but I mean, I think they're easier to give them to you in person
Sure.
as telesales.
I don't disagree with that. So, as a new agent, if one piece of advice for a brand new agent that hears about telesales but also knows face to face is available, what would you say to them?
I tell all my agents do a hybrid. I mean, see what you like is best. I mean, there are people killing it in telesales and you can learn to do it, but you have to understand you have to have double the appointments, double the needs. I mean, you have to have the patience to sit in front of a computer for 10 to 12 hours a day. If that's what you want to do, then do it. If you want to, venture out and see if you like face to face, and then, what I would suggest is maybe just doing like, dialing on Mondays and run Tuesdays, and kind of like KJ and them do, maybe, run one day and then back in the office the next day, and doing telesales and dials those same days and see how they like it better.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, Amy, we try to keep these like 10, 15 minutes max. Um, I appreciate you. I'm super stoked that you're with us, and it's awesome to watch you work. Like your brain never shuts off, which is, I guess that's why you're so successful.
Yeah.
Last parting advice for anybody that's struggling brand new, not where they want to be, and all the above?
Before you start this business, find out, dig down and write down goals for yourself and find your why that's going to keep you going on days when you want to give up. Because I don't think I've ever wanted to quit the business. I've gotten frustrated at times and just wishing I could be in a better spot on the building, the team side of things. But I know true that attitude and activity are what you can control. And just, I think one thing I struggled with in the very beginning was worrying about what I couldn't control. And as a female perspective, I would carry that weight on my shoulders, and you just have to learn to let it go and just don't let it stop you and halt you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining and sharing with us, Amy. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Guys, if you want to, and you're recruiting and building a business, correct?
Right.
All right. So if y'all want to go work with someone that can show you how to hit Hall of Fame, year 1, year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, every year you want to sell insurance, I would definitely come work with you. How do I get a hold of you, Amy?
My cell number is 678-315-8086. And then you can email me at amy@fflmetro.com. And then I also have a Metro Facebook page and Instagram as well.
Awesome. So guys, you heard it from Amy. If you need some help, you're looking to get into the insurance industry, you want to work with someone that's done it many years in a row at a high level, Amy's definitely the option. So again, thank you, Amy, for hopping on. I appreciate you. Looking forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's work. Yo, it's go time, showtime, never backing down time. One shot, yo, make it count, yo. Crunch time, shine time, make this moment my time.